Hey everybody, welcome to Mountain in the Mist. It's about to be another lambing day here this season. We've already had 3 lambing days here, but we noticed that Pebbles back there in the corner is looking pretty ready to have her lambs. So we wanted to bring you guys along for that journey. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the signs that let us know that labor was near for her. And we're going to talk about some of the things we've done already to prepare for the lambs to come, probably tonight or tomorrow. Later on in the video, we'll talk about, hopefully we'll be able to catch it on video, but the birth process and some of the issues that can arise there and how to be ready to help if you're needed, as well as how to monitor you and her new baby after the birth is complete. So for now, we're going to go get Pebbles and bring her out here onto the milking stand and take a closer look at some of the signs that let us know she is ready to have her babies. So one sign that let us know that she's getting ready to have her babies is that she's pawing at the ground and kind of digging a little bed. So I hope you guys can see underneath her front paws there, she's dug out quite a bit of the straw and shavings that are down there. Even just her behavior overall, you can see she's kind of isolated, behaving a bit strangely compared to the rest of the sheep who are eating hay and wandering around out in the pastured area. One of the best signs that labor is coming soon is if you take a close look at the vulva here, and just kind of lift her tail a little bit so you can see it better. But the closer and closer she gets to having her babies, the more and more swollen and kind of pink or red this is going to turn. So right now at this stage, it's very, very swollen, much larger than normal. And it's so pink that it's almost red looking. And so that makes us think that she's probably going to have her babies tonight or tomorrow. As she gets very close, like within hours of having babies, you'll start to see some discharge come out, maybe some mucus. That lets you know that she's super close. So in addition to that and the restlessness that we talked about a little bit earlier, the final great sign that her babies are coming soon is going to be her udder. So just a few days ago, her udder was much smaller than this, and it wasn't so obviously nice and plump and full of milk like it is now. This is a wonderfully full udder. And that lets you know that she is about to have her babies soon. All right, one of the things you're going to want to do to the sheep to prepare before the lambs come is what is called crutch shear. And so that's basically you're going to want to get in here with your shears and take off all this excess wool that's dangling down from the back of the legs and the butt and obscuring your access to the udder. You're also going to want to come to the side and clear up some of this wool from the front of the leg that might be obscuring access to the teat for the newborn lamb to suckle. Another thing that we did to prepare for her lambs to come either tonight or tomorrow is we ensured that our lambing kit was all stocked up. Now we have an entire video on our lambing kit and what we put in there. So if you're interested, make sure to check that out. We've got a lamb with some zoomies jumping around over there. And finally, what we did was we moved her as well as the other newborn lambs and expectant ewes up to this dry lambing jug area and out of the rain and the pasture land. This spot is nice because, like I said, it's out of the inclement weather. We can check on it very often. And everyone is dry and happy and warm in here. So we'll get back to you soon, hopefully, and catch the birth process if we can on camera. Otherwise, we'll come back with a newborn baby lamb. We were just having a sauna and we heard some commotion over here in the lamb area. And we came out and Pebbles had a little baby. So this baby is very fresh within the last probably 30 minutes. This thing came out. And you see Pebbles is licking the baby clean, which is a good sign. You want to see a mom taking care of her baby and cleaning it off, drying her off. A lot of times our sheep have their babies at night, so it's extra important that they get dry in case it gets cold. You can also see that this little baby is trying to stand up and walk around. It's not totally coordinated yet, but it's a good sign that it's got the energy to do so. One thing we're looking for is that it's hopefully going to figure out how to latch on to the udder and get some colostrum in it soon. So you can see it's kind of searching for where to get some food, and we're hoping it figures it out without too much intervention. Sometimes we'll kind of guide the lamb to where the teat is, but we'll give him a little while to figure it out on his own. But otherwise, we're just going to keep observing and see what happens here. Pebbles is doing a great job as a first-time mom, and so it's really fun to come out of the sauna and have a new baby lamb. Good morning, everybody. This is the next day after Pebbles here had her baby last night. One of the things that you'll notice immediately is that we've kind of sequestered them in their own space where they're not disturbed by the rest of the flock. So this is called the lambing jug. And we do this just so they can kind of form a really tight bond with each other. Baby doesn't have to worry about getting knocked over or going out in the rain and cold. And we'll leave them in here for a couple days just to make sure baby's up on their feet and doing good with mama. One of the most important things that we looked for overnight and now in the morning is that Pebbles here is letting the baby nurse. So the baby can find the teats, latch on, and suck lots of milk out. We've seen that happen a few times, which is really important. If you don't see this happening naturally, you might have to kind of coax the baby towards the teat. We did that a little bit last night, guiding the baby towards the back of the udder. Pebbles was a little resistant to letting the baby nurse initially as a first-time mom. Sometimes you kind of have to tie the moms up and not let them escape from their baby until they realize that that's what they're supposed to be doing. But fortunately with Pebbles, we didn't have to do that this time. We just gave them some time and space together and they figured it out. In the lambing jug, we make sure that we have plenty of fresh hay and food as well as water for mama. She's had a big night, so we want to be sure that she's got all that she needs to recover. One thing that we were sure to do this morning is iodine the baby's navel, as well as get a weight on the baby, birth weight. So we know this baby weighs about 10 pounds, which is pretty big for a newborn lamb. I think the biggest we might have had this year so far as a single. And yeah, we just sprayed a little iodine on the navel there to make sure there's no infections from where the umbilical cord was attached. Now, as a first-time mom, we didn't really have to help Pebbles with labor at all, but sometimes you might need to do that. So if the lamb is stuck and not moving in there for 30 minutes or more, or if the lamb presents in an atypical fashion without the legs and head coming out first, you might have to glove up and lube up and get in there, reposition the lamb, or gently help coax it out. Like I said, fortunately, we didn't have to do that this time, and we just let things naturally take their course. We weren't sure if she was going to have a second lamb last night, but we see here kind of covered in sawdust or in pine shavings now and some hay that she did pass her placenta, which means no more babies are coming. So just one single baby for Pebbles this year. And like I mentioned, if she was resistant to the baby feeding, we would kind of tie her up or use other methods to make sure that the baby was getting fresh colostrum. So that's about it today on Lambing Day. We've kind of talked about the whole process and some of the complications. We're just going to monitor these two now for about a week a little more closely, make sure everything's good, baby's growing up right. We'll get some weights on occasion and release them back into the herd so that everyone can kind of integrate. Now we want to hear about your lambing experiences on your homestead. Have you had lambs before? Have you gotten into any tricky situations? And if so, how have you navigated those? For now, we're going to enjoy our new baby lambs and see you guys next time.